Hi guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So yesterday we started cybersecurity and we discussed about what is SOC, what is L1, L2, L3 or tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and also roles of L1, L2, L3 and SOC manager. We will continue from there. So next one is SIEM. So full form is security, information and event management. So here SIM is as per Gartner report. Gartner report you know already. So Gartner is a quarterly report. This one will be published based on the who is the leader position, okay, in the market, and who is the challenger position, and who is the niche players, and who is the visionary position. So Gartner will conduct the survey, and finally they will conclude. So challenger position, leader position, niche players, and visionary position. As per 2005, so two candidates. One of the candidate name is called Amrit Williams, and second candidate name is called Stephen, I think. So these two people they invented the SIM concept. Okay, so SIM is a combination of both SIM. So full form is security, information management. Second one is SEM, security, event management. So in 2005, as I said, as per Gartner, so Amrit Williams and also Stephen, these two people, why we have to use two different types of solution? Instead of two different types of solution, we can use combined together of SIM plus SEM. So that is called SIEM. Okay, so what they have done? SIM plus SEM. So nothing but SIEM, security information and event management. So prior to 2005, so everything is like two different solutions. So then they combined together and they formed this SIM tool. So that is what happened in 2005. Okay, so finally, who is invented SIM tools? Amrit Williams and Stephen. So now what is SIM tool definition? So enter a question this one. So already we have seen this one in the very beginning. It's a log collection, log processing, log analysis, log monitoring, and incident alerting tool. So it is just only monitoring tool, but it will not block anything, similar to like IDS. Even IDS also, it will detect the abnormal, malicious, suspicious activity, but it will not block it. So IDS equivalent to SIM tool. In the alerting wise, okay, not technical features wise. So both are equivalent. So here also log collection, log analysis, log processing, log monitoring, and alerting tool of the respective abnormal incidents or malicious incident or abnormal activity and so on. So that is about SIM tool. It is one of the inter equation, and here only alert, it will give the alert notification to us as a security analyst. We have to go and we have to do the incident investigation, and we have to identify whether it is false positive or true positive. If it is a false positive, we have to close the incident. If it's a true positive based on the infection, we have to take care of the instant response as well. So that is about SIM tool. So log collection meaning here collecting of the logs from the different types of log sources, processing of the logs. Water collected logs are there. It will process using different types of approaches. And log analysis. So we have to analyze the logs. And log monitoring. It will monitor the logs, and based on the correlation rules, it will generate the alert notification. So that is SIEM tool. Okay. So next one, EPS. So EPS is events per second. Events per second. Per second, how many events are generating? So next one is EFPS, flow per second. Per second, how much flow is generating in the form of IP packets? Okay, so log is different and flow is different. Log is action and flow is a traffic. So that is the difference. Log is an action. Any computer recorded activity is called as a log, you know already, and flow is in the form of IP traffic. So packet capture example. So we have EPM also, event per minute. Per day, how many events are generating? And FPM, flow per minute. Per day, how many? Even flow, per day, how much flow is generating? Next one, EPD, events per day. And FD, flow per day. Okay, EPS, events per second, and FPS, flow per second. EPM, so we have to convert EPS to EPM, then EPD, so events per day or flow per day. So these are the couple of things I will explain in couple of minutes. Next one, what is log? So any computer recorded activity is called as a log. Any computer recorded activity is called as a log. So that may be morning 9 o'clock, example, employee will log in. So they will do their roles and responsibilities. If it's a HR team example, they will do the screening and they will do the shortlisting of the candidates. They will schedule the interviews. Okay. Finally, they will release the offer letters and so on. So that is the HR team. In the similar way, other teams, and so on. Everybody, their roles and responsibilities wise, they will work on. But back end, some of the logs will be generated. So that logs, nothing but it's any activity basically. It's any activity is called as a log. Computer recorded activity is called as a log. Computer recorded activity is called as log. Okay. So then event. Event meaning here abnormal change of the log. Okay. Already we discussed event management and so on. Whatever log is there, for that log, some abnormal or malicious or suspicious thing will happen. That is called event. Abnormal change of the log is called event. Abnormal change of log is called event. Okay. So next one is incident. So incident meaning here, it will give negatively impact of CIA triad. So confidentiality, integrity, as well as availability, right? So incident, it will negatively impact our organization. So that may be confidential, privacy of the data, integrity, trustworthy of the data, or altering something, or availability. Some of the outages will be there. So that is negatively, not positively. So negatively, it is causing impact. Because of that reason, business stoppage or outage or business disruptions will come. So that is called instance. It will negatively impact CIA triad. Because of this reason, business disruptions. So when you say business disruptions, that may be confidentiality wise, some of the issues will come, integrity wise, some of the issues will come, or availability wise, some of the issues will come. Negative, not positively. Okay. Business disruptions will come. These business issues called as incident. Okay, this interior question, guys. What is incident? Interior question. So next one is notification. Notifying the incident. Okay, notifying the incident is called as a notification, like a alert notification, alert or notification. Okay, so whenever any abnormal is coming, notification will come through most of the cases, either SMTP server, SNMP traps. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. Notifying an instant is called as, okay, so this, sorry, this is not notification, this alert, guys. Notification of instant is called as alert. Notification of an instant is called alert notification. So what are the different ways we can generate the alert notifications? So example, we can receive through emails. When you say emails, it will come through SMTP server integration. Every tool in the organization level, we have to integrate with SMTP server. SMTP server integration or SNMP traps. So this is one of the way how to receive the alert notifications. So next one we have syslog. Using syslog messages also, we can receive the notifications. And reference set. Okay, so these are all couple of the examples of how to receive the notifications. Even through messages also. Messages. Okay, so these are all the couple of examples of how we are receiving the alert notifications. Whenever any abnormal activity or instance will come in that scenario, what are the different ways we can receive the alert notifications? One is because we are integrating SMTP server to each and every tool. So obviously through emails, one of the way we will receive the notification. Second one is through SNMP traps. SNMP traps meaning a switch we have to do some SNMP configuration. So if you are configuring the SNMP, then we will receive the alert notifications. Syslog messages. So this is also one of the options how to receive the alert notifications. A reference set. So based on the IP address, based on the MAC address, based on the domain name, we will configure and we will receive the alert notifications. And through obviously mobile messages. So even nowadays we are receiving the mobile messages as well, because whenever you are in the offline and you are going outside, in that scenario we will receive the notification through mobile messages. Okay, so these are all the couple of options how we can receive the alert notifications. Okay, so in the interviews they will ask what is the difference between instant and alert. Alert is notification of an instant, and instant is a negatively something it will cause. Okay, so interruption to the CIA triad. So because of the transition, it will cause business damage. So that's called CIA triad. So next one, log sources. So before going to log sources, log source. Log source, log source, log source. Several times I discussed in the past what is how to integrate the firewall log, how to integrate the EDR log, how to integrate the vulnerability assessment logs, and so on. Right? So log source or data source. This is also called data source. Log source or data source, from where the logs are originating. From where the logs are originating, and those logs we have to integrate it to SIEM tool. Okay. From where the logs are originating is called as log source. So example. So couple of examples we have. So those examples are log sources. Every organization will generate this so many log sources. Those log sources are. So I will do the classification wise now. First log source, networking. Okay, all these logs we have to integrate it to SIEM tool. What is the SIEM tool definition? Log collection. Log collection means collecting of the logs, right? So here, networking related log sources. Example, what are the different types of networking related original of the log sources we have? So you know already router is one of the example device. Switch is one of the example device. Load balancer is one of the device. Okay, LAN is one of the device. WAN is one of the device. Wireless LAN is one of the device. Okay. So these are all the couple of log sources belongs to networking side. In the similar way, security side. Security log sources. So what are tools we are using? Those tools also we have to integrate. Antivirus, EDR, DLP, data loss prevention, HADS, HAPS, host intrusion detection system, host intrusion prevention system, encryption, file integrity monitoring. So next one we have firewall, proxy, network IDS, network IPS. Okay, web application firewall, email gateway, malware analysis tools. Yeah, so these are all the couple of security related log sources. All these are security logs. We have to integrate all these logs to the SIEM tool. Okay, in the similar way, we have application related logs. Applications, example, WAF, web application firewall. Okay, so whatever OS top 10 category of the attacks it is blocking by the our web application firewall, backend it will generate the logs. So web application firewall. So next one is app server, web server. So app server, web server.
DB server.
So DB server, it's a part of infrastructure I will put. Otherwise, separate classification output. This is dedicated to applications wise. Okay. So yeah, DB server also, yes, indirectly, yes, DB server also, because application layer 3 contains database server also. Layer 3 architecture, database server as well. Okay, database server. One second, guys. One second. Sorry, guys. Database server, all the applications, all the cloud logs, all the cloud applications logs as well. So these are on the application side. Okay. Next one is infrastructure. Infrastructure logs. When you see infrastructure, so already we have seen infrastructure security, nothing but server security. All the server logs. So that may be example DNS, DHCP. I'll put otherwise those the information as well. DNS, DHCP, Active Directory, domain controller, SMTP. Okay, once again, DB also will come here. DB, app server, file server, all the servers, whatever servers are available in the organization level, Windows, Linux, middleware. So whatever it may be, virtual machines, VMs, virtual machines, cloud instances. Okay. So all these infrastructure related logs. Along with this one, we have vulnerability management also. Vulnerability management logs. VULN means vulnerability management. So last one is cloud. So cloud example, all the cloud service provider logs. Like AWS, Azure, GCP. Okay. Next one, Alibaba, IBM, Oracle, SaaS based tools logs integration. SaaS means software as a service. Nowadays, whatever tools are coming, especially endpoint security and vulnerability management. So endpoint security EDR tools or DLP tools. So next one is even vulnerability management tools and email gateways also. Most of the cases, we are not deploying on the on-premise on-premise server or tool or databases. Everything is like a SaaS based software as a service. Meaning here, so we will pay some amount to the respective vendor or tool, and we'll utilize the service. That is called software as a service. In future, I will explain what is IaaS or PaaS and SaaS. Okay. So SaaS nowadays, example CrowdStrike, Carbon Block, Sentinel-1, Symantec, okay, McAfee, Trend Micro, all these tools completely SaaS-based applications. Okay, the SaaS-based applications meaning here, so we will pay some amount to the whatever service we are utilizing. Even ServiceNow also SaaS-based application. Okay, software as a service tools. This cloud concept once again, so that's why I'm putting under the cloud. IaaS, PaaS. So I'm not writing under this Amazon services like a CloudTrail, CloudWatch, and also Azure side Vault, and also virtual machines, because already it's included Amazon Web Service and Azure. So nothing but indirectly CloudTrail, CloudWatch, Vault, and so on. Okay. So these are all the different types of classification. It's a compulsory interview question, guys. In your organization, what are the different types of log sources you are monitoring? In your organization, what are the different types of log sources you are monitoring? Or what are the different types of logs you are integrating? Okay. So meaning here, so you have to say all these. You can say either this classification wise, that is also fine. Otherwise, without classification also you can say that is also fine. Example, if I am the interviewer, if I will ask like, what are the different types of log sources you are monitoring in your organization level? You can say firewall, proxy, IDS, IPS, antivirus, TLP, encryption, all these servers, all the applications. Okay. So web application firewalls, email gateway solutions, routers, switches, load balancers, wireless LAN, LAN, WAN, vulnerability management, all these different types of log sources we are monitoring. Approximate, we have 50 log sources are there in my organization. Okay. So this is what you have to give the answer. So this is one of the interview question. Why? Because first concept or first phase in the SIEM tool is log collection. First, we have to identify the log source or data source. Those logs only we have to integrate it to SIEM tool. And these log sources are not like a constant one. These log sources are not a constant one. These log sources are dynamic in nature. Do you think that all the applications are constant? Do you think that all the servers are constant? Horizontal and vertical growth wise, always the servers will be increased as well as applications will be increased. Okay. So that is called horizontal growth and vertical growth, because daily we will recruit the employees, daily applications will be increased. Okay. So you can go and you can see everywhere TCS, Infosys, whatever it company. So daily thousands of the people they will recruit and they will onboard. So that means indirectly, so logs also increasing backend. So horizontal growth and vertical growth will be there. So these log source integration or log sources onboarding, it is not in a static in nature, it is in dynamic in nature or agile in nature. Okay. So next one, log integration. This entire question, guys. So what are the different types of log sources? Logs are integrated to SIEM tool. Maybe they will ask in that way. Our second question is, what are the different types of log sources or data sources you are monitoring? So you can say all these. Okay. So next one, log onboarding or log integration. Log onboarding or log integration. Integrating of the logs to the SIEM tool. Okay. Onboarding also called as integration or sending the logs to SIEM tool. So this is also one of the integrations. Do you know how to onboard the log source or data source to SIEM tool? This one will be done with implementation team or L3 team. Okay. But even though they will expect for L1 as well. Do you know how to onboard a new log sources to the SIEM tool? Or do you know how to integrate the new log sources to the SIEM tool? Okay. So as I said, these are all not a constant in nature and dynamic in nature. So implementation team, maybe today they will complete the SIEM tool implementation and they will onboard all the log sources. Their work is completed. Maybe tomorrow, one more Windows guy or Linux guy, he's creating one of the server. That's a critical server to the organization level. That critical server logs also we have to integrate. Once again, whether implementation team will come and they will integrate log sources? No. Once again, we have to do professional services. When you say professional services, we have to pay additional money per day. Example, $2,000. Why companies will spend $2,000 per integrating one of the log sources, one single server log sources? So that's why this case, most of the cases will be done by L3 team. integrating of the log source. Otherwise, they have to contact the implementation team in case they have premium support option is available. Okay. So if it is server we have to onboard. So as I said, today all the implementation is completed. Tomorrow one of the new server is configuring, or on day after tomorrow one of the new application is generating, a new application is deployed. So if you want to integrate those new server or new application, so we have to onboard, nothing but we have to integrate those logs to SIEM tool as well. Why? Because we have to monitor those logs as well. Okay, that is called log onboarding or log integrating. Nothing but we are onboarding or sending the logs to SIEM tool. Sending or integrating or onboarding log sources logs to SIEM tool. To send the logs or to integrate the logs or to onboard the logs, we have different types of log integration methods we have that we can discuss later. So next one is types of logs. Types of logs in Windows, types of logs in Linux as well. What are the different types of logs? We will integrate it to SIEM tool. Okay. So one is audit related logs. When you say audit related logs, it's authentication failure and authentication success. Login failures, login success. So in case if you want to see in your laptop, what are the different types of logs are generating, we have to go to the event viewer. Under the event viewer, we can see. Okay. So example, application related logs, system related logs, configuration related logs, log forwarding or event forwarding. Okay. So these are all the different types of logs. Normally, everything it will be generated. Audit logs is mainly for the authentication failure and authentication success. Whenever any end user is trying to do forgetting the password or maybe correct password he is entering. So that is called login failure if it is forgetting the password. So if attack is trying to do, that is called as a brute force attack or password spray attack or dictionary attack or VPN authentication failure. Okay. So here login failure and login success is called as audit. So whenever audit meaning here always failure or success. So this is not only just applicable to your Windows or Linux, this is applicable to every application as well. And every tool also. Example, firewall, you are forgot the password. Or antivirus or EDR, you forgot the password. Backend, some of the auditing related logs will be generated. And also success. So successfully you logged into the tool. So backend, so on, date and time. So this person is logged into the firewall or proxy or SIM tool and so on. Okay. So login failures and login success and application related logs. So backend, whatever applications we are using, those application related logs, system related logs. System meaning here health checkup. What is the status of the CPU utilization, RAM utilization? So those called as health checkup. Example, CPU, bandwidth utilization, RAM utilization. So all those will fall under system related logs. So next one, event forwarding. So I can show you practically here. So security related logs as well. Other than authentication failure and authentication success. So that is called security related logs. So practically, if I want to show, just you can go to the search button and you can type event viewer. So in your laptop also, it will this option is available. Click on this event viewer. So go to Windows search button and click on event viewer. So under click on Windows logs, you can see application, security, setup, system, forwarded events. So these are all the 5 classifications are there. Interview question, this one also. What are the different types of logs we will integrate it to Windows machine logs or Linux machine log? This is applicable to Linux as well. So in my laptop, what are the application I am trying to access, those logs. And security, other than audit failure and audit success, login failures and login success, whatever security related logs are generating those logs. And next one is setup related logs. Any configuration related logs is called setup. Next one, system. So bandwidth utilization logs is called as system related. This is nothing but health checkup. So based on this one only, we can conclude that whether the system is up or running or not. So health checkup also very, very important. Why? Because if couple of log sources logs are reflecting in the SIEM tool, then only instance will come. If the health of the any machine, any server, any database, any application is down, how instance we will receive? First thing is that one only. Dedicatedly, L3 or implementation team, fine tuning, I told you yesterday, one of the term. Fine tuning meaning here, whether all the log sources logs are reflecting in the SIEM tool or not, whether we have to, in case logs are not reflecting, how we have to troubleshoot, okay, how we have to reduce the false positives, all those things will fall under fine tuning. Okay, so forwarded events. So these are all the 5 classifications we have under the Windows. This is applicable to Linux as well. So just you can go and you can see under the security. Security is also called as audit, as I said. So example, you can see 4624. What is 4624? Previously we discussed at the time of Active Directory and Domain Controller. Did you remember?
Login success.
Login success.
Success. Yeah.
4624 is belongs to login success. 4625 is belongs to failure. Okay. So here you can see 4624 logon. 4625. In case if I entered the wrong password, then 4625 it will generate. And 4672 special logon. So they will ask, other than 4624 and 4625, can you provide some of the other event ID numbers? Example 4672, special logon. Okay, nothing but new logon. And 4672, okay, 4670 is already there. 4799, security group was enumerated. Okay, so in the similar way, we have other IDs also. As I said, we have more than 1000 ID numbers are there. 1000 ID numbers are there. 4779, user account management. Okay, a user login group membership was enumerated. So these are the different ID numbers. So in the material, so I will provide the material within maybe 1 week or 10 days. So in that material, these are all the things are available. Okay, no need to note it now, but always 4624 and 4625 is very, very important. Those two are interview questions, especially 4625. Okay. So this is related to security. So here, so security is wrong here itself. Auditor security. The audit I'll put not an issue. Audit application system setup. So setup is nothing but configuration related logs. So finally, forwarded events. So these are all the 5 classifications are there for both Windows and Linux. Okay. So interview question is, what are the different types of Windows logs you will integrate it to SIEM tool? What is the answer? Audit logs or security logs, application logs, system logs, setup logs, forwarded events. So these are all the different types of logs normally we will integrate it to SIEM tool if it is a Windows and also Linux. Okay. So now coming back on the tool wise, EDR tools. What are the different types of logs we'll integrate it to EDR wise? Audit logs or security logs. So even malware related logs as well. Okay. What is the different types of firewall logs? For any interview question, if they are asked what are the different types of logs we'll integrate, you can say these 5. Firewall or proxy or IDS, IPS, and so on. So these 5 you can check. You can say why? Because every device has, these are the different types of logs. Not just Windows or Linux. This is applicable to every log source. Okay. So these are all the different types of logs we can see under. Please go and see this one whenever you will get a free time. Okay, so please go and see. Every event or every log has example. So you can see an account was successfully logged on. If I'm clicking on 4624, so subject, every event, every log has event ID number, and when the event is generated, nothing but when the log is generated, log date and time. This is called timestamp. Timestamp. What do you mean by timestamp now? When the log is logged on or logged in. So timestamp is nothing but this one. So in the similar way, event log description will be there. Okay, so log description or event description and source from where the logs are coming. So event ID and category of the log and level of the log. So this is syslog information. There are 0 to 9 different types of syslogs messages we can see. So level is nothing but that is informational. One is informational, one is debug, one is error. So in such a way, total 9 types are there. 0 to 9 types are there. So this level is informational now. So keywords is audit success. So because it's security related one and already user is logged in and user. So right now, this is my end user system and that's why user information is not providing, and computer name. So my computer name and opcode. So these are all the different types of information. For every log, even payload also will be there. Payload. Okay. So then IP address. So based on this computer name, example, in this scenario itself, I will say, maybe I attempted more than 5 attempts. Wrong passwords. I attempted 5 attempts, wrong passwords. My logs, if I'm integrating to SIEM tool using collector agent method, so logs will go to the SIEM tool. In SIEM tool, one of the correlation rules we will create. Which correlation will create? Anyone? Login failure attempt. Which use case will create? Which attack will create? Login failure attempt. What use cases or attack name? Login failure attempts, trial and error method. Which attack?
Brute force attack.
Yes. If I'll say trial and error method, you are giving the answer. Okay, login failure attempts, the attack name is brute force attack. Okay, so now example, as a user, I forgot the password and I have done the 5 attempts or maybe 3 attempts or 4 attempts and so on. So these logs I have to integrate it to now SIEM tool using one of the option is called log collector agent method. So we'll integrate using log collector agent method. That is today evening discussion. Okay. So once we are integrating these logs to the collector agent method to SIEM tool for my laptop logs, now one of the correlation rule or attack or use cases will create. That use case name is called brute force attack or password spray or dictionary attack. Now these logs, it will go and it will hit that particular correlation rule. So collection is over now. What it will do? Processing of the logs. It will hit that particular correlation rule or use case. Now alert will be generated in the SIEM tool. Now as a L1, L2 and L3 analyst, so you have to take care of the incident investigation. This is one of the perfect example. Okay. So what is the now attack you will receive or alert you will receive or incident you will receive? Brute force attack. So and so user, his computer name is MMD, okay, SCG 1243 KTK. This person, so approximate maybe 815, successfully he failure has done 5 attempts and alert is received. Now we have to go and you have to do the instant investigation whether this attack is done by our internal user or external attacker. So first you have to classify the incident now. Okay, so you have to classify the incident. So here internal employee, so is trying to do the attack. In that scenario, this is called insider threat. Based on the which way we can classify the whether it is an insider threat or external attack, based on which parameter? Anyone?
IP address, private or
Yes,
public?
excellent. Private or public IP address. So according to that one, so we can classify even according to the computer name also. According to the computer name or host name or IP address, we can classify. So now once that alert is received, in this scenario, what we have to do? So this is insider threat, internal attack only. Now, after analyzing the logs, now these logs will come. So and so user around 8:15 has forgot the password or whatever it may be. Okay, so he tried to attempt the login failures, whether it is a legitimate activity or illegitimate activity. So you have to do that is called log analysis. Identifying the legitimate or illegitimate activity is called log analysis. Okay, so after that, after analyzing that particular activity, if it is internal users, what you will do, you will send or drop an email to the employee. If it is an external hacker or attacker or intruder, in that scenario, what you will do, so you will do the IP address verification or validation or reputation check. Okay, so whatever IP that particular alert is received. Okay, so whether that is a malicious IP or abnormal IP or suspicious IP, you have to check the reputation of the IP or validating of the IP. So for that one, you have to go to the couple of tools like MX tool or IP wide or IPFB's database or Cisco Talos or some of the other threat intelligence tools. If it is internal employee, after confirming the respective employee, yes, I forgot the password, maybe because of the typo error, because of the human errors, I have forgot the password and I have sent an email. So that person will respond back to you. Then you have to attach that one replied email as a evidence, and you have to suspect that, not suspect, sorry. You have to attach that one as a evidence as an email. And this is illegitimate activity. So user forgot the password or typo error he has done. So that's why this alert is received. You can make a summary of the report, you can close it. If it is internal employee, if the external attacker has done this particular activity, so example, ICMR attack has already recently one of the news is there, right? So attack is attempted more than 6,000 attempts. So that 6,000 attempts belongs to illegitimate activity, try to compromise the server. Now, whatever that 6,000 attempts, that particular suspicious activity it is coming, we have to take the IP address, we have to check the reputation of the IP, and we have to block that particular IP address in the firewall. This is one of the instant investigation. This is one of the instant investigation. Recently, which type of instant investigation you have done in your career? Or in your entire career, what is the challenging instant investigation you have done? This is one of the scenario. What is scenario we discussed now? We discussed two scenarios. One is the insider threat. So whenever the user is forgetting the passwords or maybe type error or human errors by entering the keys in the wrong in the laptop, so brute force attack will come. In the similar way, external attacker is trying to do the hacking part or maybe forgetting is trying to compromise one of the end user system. So that is external brute force attack. So this is one of the scenario we can explain. Okay. Anyway, we can discuss that one later. But what is the conclusion from this one? So every log contains this information. Every log contains a timestamp. Every log contains the host name or computer name. So that one also I'll provide. Every log contains when the log is logged in. So date and time and month as well, and so on, year also. Next one is log source information. So example, I will show you once again. You can see here source. What is my source here? Log source or data source. Microsoft Windows machine. Microsoft Windows security auditing machine. So log source. So nothing but for every log, whatever we are sending the logs to the SIEM tool, when the incident or alert notification is coming, we can see the log source information as well. Okay. So second one is log source. In our scenario, what is the log source? Microsoft Windows operating system, and the type of the log is security auditing. Okay. So example, Microsoft Windows operating system, and this log type security audit. Okay. So now what is the additional information we can see? We can see these are all additional information. So this is like a payload, message, piece of written code. Now whatever theoretical you have discussed, we discussed, you can apply practically now. So every log contains even payload also. Payload is nothing but what is the activity has done, message, piece of written code. What is the piece of written code now here? An account was successfully logged in. So this is like a payload. Okay. So payload. Okay. So next one, category of the level of the log, informational. So this is message. So next one you can see here. So log name security. So next one, event ID, user computer event ID. So in this scenario, what is the event ID? 4624. Computer name. So and so. This is also called as host name, system name. Host name or computer name or system name, all those will call it as a computer name. Example, in this scenario, my computer of the name, or my system name. All these you have to gather the information, guys. This is gathering the information. This one is called as triaging. Gathering the information related to incident is called triaging. Triage, triage. Okay. So two types of triaging we will do. One is called indicator of compromise. What our system is going to impact victim related details. That is called indicator of compromise. What are the indicators now? Computer name is one of the indicator. Event ID is one of the indicator. Level is one of the indicator. Payload is one of the indicator. MAC address is one of the indicator. So indicator compromise is nothing but victim related details. Indicator of attacker, whoever is trying to do the hacking. Okay, so that person details. So nothing but obviously public IP. From which country is trying to do the attack? So that's called IOA, indicator of attacker. What are the indicators of the attacker's information now? So which country? So country is one of the indicator. And so IP address, from which IP that particular activity we are receiving. So that is also one of the indicator. What type of incident he is trying to do the compromise? That is also one type of indicator. So this is called IOC and IOA, indicator of compromise and indicator of attacker. Indicator of compromise meaning here, whatever indicators are there for the victim IP or victim machine related details. That is called indicator of compromise. And whoever is trying to do the attack, so what are indicators of the particular machine he is trying to do is called indicator of attacker. Okay, example. So IP address of the attacker, country of the attacker, type of the attack, all those are indicator of attackers. Indicator of compromise meaning here, whoever is going to impact within the organization level, that victim related details is called indicators of the compromise. Example IP address, example username or computer name, host name, payload, all those will fall under IOC. So this information, whenever alert is received, so we will go and we will gather the incident information, that is called triaging also. Gathering the IOC, gathering the IOA, that is also called as asset profiling, user profiling. Asset meaning here, so wherever the system is trying to get compromised, even that is false positive also. So that is called indicator of compromise or else asset profiling. Profiling of the asset details. Whatever instant is received, that is called asset profiling. User profiling, gathering the user related details, username, where he is located, so his computer name, all those will follow. Yeah, maybe employee ID also. Employee ID, gathering those details is called as user profiling. Nothing but indirectly, it's IOC and IOA. Okay, IOC and IOA is also called as asset profiling and user profiling. So these four gathering is called as triaging, TRIAG, triaging. Criminal investigation people, CBI officers also, once they will identify what type of incident or murder or suicide attempt it is happened, or accidentally someone is died and so on, they will go and they will investigate. For that one, FIR file, and they will gather triaging of the incident. So the triaging are nothing but proofs. What are the different types of fingerprints or maybe something else? Okay. So same thing is applicable to here as well. So now every log contains, so when the log is logged in, so time, date and time and year, also month. Okay, so log source name, from which log that logs are integrated to SIEM tool. So next one is log type. What are the what is the different types of log? Whether it is a failure or authentication success or authentication failure or malware and so on, or DLP data breach or data exfiltration. Payload. So every log contains in payload also piece of written code or message. Level of the log, event, computer name or host name or system name, IP address. Okay. Next one is action. So now this is only Windows login related details. That's why action is not showing. But in case firewall side, EDR side, proxy side, web application firewall side, we can see action. What is the action of the log, whether it is a block or allow? Okay. So here block or allow, that action also we can see. Application, what type of application is accessed? Okay. So source port, every log contains source port, through which source port that communication will happen. So now this is just only authentication failures. There is no communication is required. So, but in case you are trying to log into another server, another database or another application, or you are sending an email, in that scenario, source port and destination IP also, it is applicable. Okay. So what additional information every log contains? So every log contains even destination port, destination IP, and so on. Couple of interviews, interviewer will share his screen and he will ask, so from this log, what did you analyze? So otherwise, example, myself, I am the interviewer. So I will share my screen in the interview panel. So, and I will ask, from this log, what did you observe? What did you analyze? So you have to read everything. and you have to give the answer. Okay. First and foremost, whenever they are asking these type of questions, first always you can see action. Okay. So you should not say wrong information. Everything you can say, right? So already all the information is available. But what is the conclusion from this particular activity? That is very important. Whether it is attack or normal or legitimate or illegitimate activity. That is important. You have to identify the attack also some of the cases. So I'm repeating once again, couple of interviews, interview people, they will share the screen and they will ask, they will share couple of logs. They will ask, what is the log related to? Could you please explain? Nothing but indirectly they are asking, do you have analyzing skills or not by seeing the log or not? Log analysis, what is SIEM tool? Log collection, log processing, log collection, log processing, anyway SIEM tool will do. Who will do the log analysis or analyzing? Obviously security analyst will do. Okay. So once they are sharing the screen, first and foremost, what you can see, action. Okay. Anyway, our message will be there. You can see here so much message is there. Under this one, okay, if you are scrolling down, so there is so much. Impersonation of the level, impersonation, new logon, security ID number system, account name system, account domain, okay, NTLM, NT authority, login ID. Okay. So process ID, every log has a process also. Process ID, process name, where this particular log is processed, services.exe. Once brute force attack will come, in that log, all these will be there as a payload and also all these logs, it will appear. Okay. This is just one of the example related to login success. In such a way, whatever logs we are receiving for every log, all these different types of information it will be available. Okay. So next one you can see here additionally. So network information, workstation name, source network address, source port. That's what I'm saying. Workstation name, source network address. Okay, example MAC address, source port, through which port. So this is just one authentication success. Port is not required. That's why we are not able to see this one. Okay. So couple of times what will happen? All these fields in SIEM tool, it will missed out. Even though in our practical, this log is called as a raw log. Right now, whatever I'm sharing in my screen, this is called raw log, RAW, raw. Okay, raw log. So this raw log, SIEM tool will not understand. SIEM tool will not understand raw log. SIEM tool, what it will understand? It will understand parsed log or normalized log. So nothing but what is normalization or parsing now? So converting of the raw log to SIEM tool understandable log is called parsed log, parsing. Converting this raw log to SIEM tool understandable log is called as parsing, parsed log. Couple of times what will happen at the time of parsing, even though our raw log contains all the information, but it will not parse to full-fledged parsing. Meaning here, what do you mean by full-fledged information? We are not able to see in the parsed log. Example, it will miss timestamp. It will miss task category. It will miss keywords. It will miss computer name. Then what we have to do? We have to fix that issue. How we can fix that issue? Anyone? I'm repeating once again. So couple of times, even though raw log contains the entire information, once that log will go to SIEM tool using parsing concept or normalization concept, we cannot see all these fields right now, whatever I'm showing or we are seeing. So in that scenario, how can I conclude that for which machine this particular attack is occurred? So I don't have any source IP now. Only I have computer name, that's all. This computer name also missing in the parser log in the SIEM tool alert notification. That means parsing is not happening properly. If parsing is not happening properly or normalization is not happening properly, in that scenario, what we have to do, anyone?
We have to check it manually.
We have to check it manually. Without knowing the computer, how you can check it manually? Example, IP address as well as even computer name or host name also missing. You are correct. I will agree with you whatever you said the answer. So example, computer name is missing. IP address also missing. So based on the computer name, yes, you are right. You will come to Active Directory or domain controller. So Active Directory, domain controller, centralized authentication authorization server. My computer logs also will be there in the domain controller now. You will come to domain controller. You will filter out my computer name and you can see the raw log. I will agree with you on this one. But in case after reaching this log to the SIEM tool, parsing is completely missed out or parsing is not happening properly and IP address also not reflecting, what will you do? We have to contact with the vendor. Why your SIEM tool is not doing the proper way? Why parsing is not happening? That is what I said. So whenever initially you deploy the SIEM tool, so immediately it will not do stabilization part. It will take approximate to 6 weeks to 15 weeks to become stabilization or stabilize. In that 6 to 15 weeks, we have to observe all these issues, whatever we are facing. Parsing related issues, our logs are not reflecting in properly. So log source logs are not coming to SIEM tool. Troubleshooting, fine tuning, even continuously so many alerts are receiving. Okay. So like a pulse positive, reducing those pulse positive, all these called as a fine tuning. Who will do fine tuning now? So fine tuning will be done by either L1, L3 team or one dedicated person will be recruited by our SOC team. Okay. Or maybe implementation team. Now it's clear, right? What is fine tuning people will do? Fine tuning people will be do whenever some of the logs are not reflecting in the SIEM tool, troubleshooting of the log sources, whatever logs are not reflecting, and also creating the correlation rules also they can do. And in case any parsing issues are there, they can raise with the ticket with the vendor and they will troubleshoot and they will fix those issues. All these are called fine tuning. Okay. Every organization will face this issue. We can see in the raw log all this information, but unfortunately, after coming to SIEM tool, we cannot see because of the parsing issues. For parsers development, okay, who will do parsers development? Vendor will do parsers development. Okay, parsers development. So backend development team will be there. Even for SIEM tool development also backend, either C or C++ or Java development team will be there. They will develop all this, how to parse the log. Once that log is received to SIEM tool. Okay, so this much in depth is there, but just for one single log. So much information. Okay. So I will continue evening. It's not completed yet. I have to give couple of definitions. Now coming back on this scenario, what are just now we are seeing, as Kranti said, yes. So in case logs are not showing full-fledged way in the SIEM tool, either you can take the computer name, or either you can take the host name, or either you can take the IP address, then come to log source. And you can see in the log whether what is the full-fledged information we are getting, because we have to close the incident. Okay. And parallelly, you can raise a ticket with the vendor also. How can you raise a ticket and what you raise? So parsing is not happening properly or normalization is not happening properly. Please come and help us. Okay, now vendor will come online and he will compare our parse log with our raw log. Why fields are missing? What is the reason? So whether development is wrong backend, then respect to whoever is coming online, that guy will escalate to R&D team of SIM development. Now SIM developers, they will go and they will see why the logs or log fields are missing in SIM tool. Then they will use some Java or C or C++, some of the programming language, and they will bug that particular issue. They will fix that particular bug, sorry. They will fix that particular bug, what log fields are missing. This is the way overall process case. So this one is not L1, L2, L3 team will not do all these. Maybe L3 team, couple of cases, it depends. Implementation team or fine tuning team, they will take care of this one. So whatever I said just now, completely L3 or more than L3 also. Okay. This is the more than L3 role. In case logs or something is reflecting. So as I said, whenever someone is sharing the screen, so you have to go through the each and every log, whatever it is appearing. You should understand what is the log about. Okay. So you have to ask the interviewer. So source IP. So from this computer, so username is missing now. It's not applicable. We can say user is not applicable. So computer name of this so and so user, he logged around. So 14/12, 2022, 7:40. Okay. So you have to say this is the oral analysis wise. And here more information also there. This event is generated the logon session. You have to go through all these. For every log, we have to identify this information. You can see here, the logon type will indicates kind of logon that occurred. The most common type are type 2 log and type 3 log. So what is the logon type now? This one belongs to type 2 or type 3. What is type 2 log? Interactive. What is type 3 log? Network logon. So whatever just now I logged in my system, so the type of the log is Windows logon type. There are 9 to 10 types we have. You know only one logon type. What is the one logon type you know? What is one logon type you know? Login type otherwise. Entering the username, password, click on the login button. That is only you know, right? Generally, not only you, just you, me, and everybody in the organization. Okay, we know only one login type. What is that one login type? So entering the username, password, and click on the login button. So that is one login type. Okay. So, but we have type 0 to type 9 or type 10 login types are there. Now, whatever 4624 is generated, what is the login type now? So you can see here, come down. So type 2 and type 3. What is type 2 now? Interactive. Type 3 is a network. This one separate session is there for this one. This entire question also. What are the different types of logon types we have as per Windows? As per Windows. Total 9 types logon types we have. Example interactive, example network, examples network credentials, example plain text, example remote cache, example network remote cache. Okay. So scheduled task, total 9 logon types we have. That is separate topic is there. I will discuss that one later. Okay. Whatever right now logon is nothing but type 2 and type 3. Let's go and see is there any other logon type is there. So for this one, there is no login type at all. Please go and check all these things manually, guys. Special logon. In the special logon, even it provides privilege escalation also. What type of privilege related information we can get it from this log, special logon. Audit is success 4672. 4670 is audit success and also is a special logon. Okay. So please go and validate all these logs in your laptop. So every log contains, these are all the information, not only this one, even additional information also. So I am showing just only one logon type, that is login success. Okay, so destination port, destination IP. As I said, in the interview point of view, whenever somebody, very rare cases, if you are going for out of 100 interviews, maybe one interview, they will ask, they will share their screen, not your screen. Interviewer screen, they will share, and that interview guy will ask, from this log, what did you observe? Or what did you identify? What the conclusion? Okay, now you have to go through the entire log and you have to understand. That is called analyzing skill. Okay, so now first and foremost, whenever you are analyzing something, you can identify what is the action of the log, whether it is a block or allowed. Okay, it's a block or allowed. So first we have to verify that one. If the block is nothing but it's a false positive, already that activity is a blocked by so and so tool. Allowed means that the activity is allowed. That means something may be compromised. We have to go and we have to do the investigation. So not only for this one, even whenever you are analyzing the logs, first and foremost, what is the action is defined by the firewall? What is the action is defined by EDR? What is the action is defined by web application firewall or proxy or IDS IPS or domain controller or server? For every log, it is not a mandatory action is available, but only preventing tools. Preventing tools. So something you are trying to do malicious activity by downloading something through phishing email attachment, clicking on, through copying something through pen drives. So those scenarios, always action will be there in the EDR tools, WAF tools, IPS tools, okay, web application firewalls tools, email gateways, and so on. Okay, so one is payload you have to understand. Second one is action you have to understand. Anyway, computer name, system name, source IP, destination IP, all these are common. So and so system is trying to do some illegal activity or illegitimate activity. Action is block, action or allow. So this is simple. So computer name, IP address, source. This is source IP, guys. Okay, source IP. So source IP person. So his username is belongs to this one. He's trying to access some other application is this one. And finally, log source is blocked this activity, allowed this activity. So that is the conclusion. Okay. So this is the way how we have to. One is log source you have to identify. Second one, action you have to identify. So these four things you have to remember whenever you're analyzing something. From which log sources those logs are reflecting in SIEM tool, and what is the source IP, and what is the host name or computer name, and what is the action, and what is the destination IP or application also. From where to where that activities happen. So if you're analyzing this is more than sufficient, even payload also will put it. Okay, so this information you have to see when you're analyzing something. Okay. Even as I said, when once the interviewer panel is asking and sharing something, okay, you are going through this one, that is more than sufficient. You can make a summary now. So and so IP address of the source, so and so computer name of the source. Okay. So from this log source, he's trying to access the application. This is the message we got, and action is this one. That's the conclusion. Okay, so that's all for today. I have to give the couple of definitions. Indicator of compromise. So gathering all this information is called as indicator of compromise or indicator of attacker, asset profiling, and user profiling. All these four combinations we can call it as a triaging. Okay, so please go and visit your event viewer in your laptop and analyze something. Any questions you have?
Yeah, in the evening class, if you don't mind, example for true, false, true, and false positive.
Yeah, I will give that. One separate class is there, Kranti.
Yeah, little confusion when we are having discussion on that.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
evening.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm not sure whether I will take the evening class or not. Now itself, I'm saying.
Sure.
Um, Yeah, so I have to go outside. So I will let you know.
Okay.
Most
And then the
probably I
next
will not
class.
take the class. Yes, yeah,
In the next class.
yes. Any other? Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.